Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. It's about that time. Let's go take that walk and see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Hopefully this is going to be a big treat. Guys, as I told you on the pineapple sculpin that I did the other day, couldn't find a date on the 6-pack or the bottle, but it was on the case. They used to date all their stuff, guys, and it was printed on the label too. Sometimes it was hard to see because they used the white ink on these lighter light yellow, whitish labels. And sometimes it was hard to see because where they printed it, it was a little bit hard to see sometimes. But they seem to have gone away from that. That was a 12 ounce because it come in a 6-pack. And this is a bomber, it's a 22 ounce. And I've done the Victory at Sea before, but this is their Peppermint Victory at Sea. And I've looked on the label and I've looked on the bottle, and there is no dating on this guy. So this may be the last Ballast Point beer you see me review. I am not going to buy any more Ballast Point beers unless there's a date on the bottle or the can. So these guys will go by the wayside since they have chosen not to date their individual bottles anymore. I'm just not going to buy them, even though they're good beers. I want to know how old the beer is that I'm drinking. So maybe the farewell to Ballast Point. So I don't know. We will see. I don't know why they've changed what they were doing, but they have. So let's see. I was in the middle. Rate beer has been kind of finicky and hadn't been coming in. So let me see if I can bring up this particular beer there. It's showing Ballast Point. No, he's gone to R&D here. Bear with me just a second. See if I can bring up the peppermint version of this. I don't know why they've changed their dating process, guys, but they have. Evidently, it's not cool to date individual bottles anymore since they've chosen not to. Ballast Point. Maybe it's under Victory at Sea. Let me pause this for a second and see if I can bring it up. Alright, I've got it up to where I can see what's going on. Like I said, need a date, guys. Even though this is a big 10%er, y'all were dating your stuff, even though it was a silly-ass Julian code. I don't think I'm going to buy any more Ballast Point beers that don't have a date on them, guys. So, this may be the last one you'll see for a while. I have done the Victory at Sea, and I thought it was pretty awesome. This is, when I seen this, I said, peppermint. This is like might be like a, what is that candy, the peppermint patty. I can't think of the name. I don't eat a lot of candy anymore. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, anything with any kind of chocolate notes like the Victory at Sea has, plus they add in the peppermint, maybe like a little peppermint patty with a little bit of chocolate and stuff going on there. We'll see where this one goes. And I don't want this to be a long video, so let's get on with it. It has no commercial description, 10%. It doesn't have the IBUs listed here. The food pranks for this: cuisines, barbecue, cheeses, buttered brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss, and goes well through chocolate dishes, of course, meat to beef, smoked meat, and grilled meat. Glassware, pint, backer, non tumbler, mug, sound sadel. I brought out the double glass today for this one, guys. And it says here, not recommended for selling unless ABV exceeds average range. I don't know why they would say that. If it's a 10% beer, this beer is going to keep for a while, unless the peppermint's going to fade. I wouldn't think so, but never cellared a peppermint beer before, so not exactly sure. But it's a 10%, so I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about, so let's pop the cap on this undated bitch and see what it's about. Nice little hiss. I hate to see these guys go by the wayside because they do some pretty tasty beers, but since they've decided not to date the bottles anymore, it's probably what's going to happen. I'm going to go down the center on this one. 10%, see what we can generate as far as head. Yeah, we're going to get a little bit. That's about all I'm going to pour right now. Save the other half for the other half. About 2 fingers of head, khaki colored head. Very tight bubbles here. There are some bigger ones on the top there if I'm an aggressive pour. Over into the light, I'm getting none. Pitch black, guys. Very reminiscent of a typical American stout. Let's get a nose on it. I'm getting a roasted malt and a little bit of chocolate in there, maybe some coffee. Not a big peppermint nose on it. Very surprised that I'm not getting a big peppermint. Maybe it's just on the taste. Rich roasted malt, almost to the burnt characteristics on the malt. Some bittersweet chocolate and coffee. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. A little bit of peppermint in the taste. It's definitely there. Getting that chocolatey peppermint. Like a peppermint patty. That's a tasty beer. It's pretty nice. Nice change up from their standard Victory at Sea. That peppermint goes very well with the chocolate, of course. Very nice. Very pleasant. And I don't know how long they've been doing the peppermint version. So maybe it's something they just started doing. I'm not exactly sure. Because I don't know how old this bottle is. I'll look one more time when I come back for the final chug, but I don't think it's got anything written on it, guys. And if they're dating the case onlys now, I don't know anybody, hardly, that buys case lots of bombers. I've only done that a couple times with the Enjoy By series. Maybe once. Not a couple times, maybe once, maybe twice. Twice at the most. That's an expensive purchase when you're buying something that's a 10% and there's 12 bottles in there and it's a $12 to $15 bottle of beer on top of that. Expensive box of beers. So very tasty though. It is nice beer. I hate to see him go by the wayside because they're not dating him anymore, but it may happen. I mean, let her taste it, pour her a glass, and we'll come back and do the final chug here shortly. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Been sipping on it about 45 minutes. Very pleasant beer. Very nice. The peppermint adds just a little kick to it. Goes very well with the chocolatiness of the beer. And I've been fussing about this on the pineapple and on this one. They stopped dating their bottles. Like I said, I'll check the cans when I go back out there. If the cans have no date, and now the bottles have no date, this is probably the last one from Ballast Point you're going to see me review for a while until they step back up to the plate and start dating their stuff just like they used to. Why would you date your stuff and then stop dating your stuff? I don't understand that. So, Ballast Point makes some good beers, but until you start dating your bottles again, I'm done with you. Final chug. Too many other good breweries out there, nowhere near as big as Ballast Point, that date their stuff. So that's where I'll spend my money. Very nice beer, guys. Nice peppermint, chocolatey taste to this. Still detect the original Victory at Sea porter in the bottom of this, but that peppermint adds a little nice twang to it. Goes very well together, very, very well. To me, guys, this is a 9 beer in an 8 bottle. I do consider it an 8 beer, even though it has no date on it. But they would get a lot better grade from me. At least 1 grade point anyway. At least it'd be a 9 beer. So I'm calling this an 8 beer. I would probably give this a 91 or a 92 out of 100. So over to Beer Advocate, they say 87. So they're not even as nice as I am. And I could just as easily drop it to the B category because of it. Because they used to date the freaking beers. Why would they stop? I don't understand that. It blows my mind. You would date your stuff and then stop dating your stuff. So maybe the dating machine broke down. Maybe they fired the guy that was running the dating machine. Who knows? But I find it unacceptable. And even on a 10% beer like this, it's not that critical. They could print the vintage on there and be just as good. Say it's a 2015 edition, 2014 edition, 2013 edition, and normally that would suffice. But that's not even on here. So Ballast Point, you're sucking the hind titty as far as I'm concerned right now. You're making good beers, but you're not dating them, so that makes you suck the hind titty. The hind titty. All the way in the back. So, as much as I hate to say it, guys, they make some great beers, but they're not dating. So, I'm not going to be buying anymore until I see a date on it. And if the cans have the date, I'll continue to buy their cans. But as long as the bottles do not, this is the last Ballast Point bottle you'll see me buy. Now, I do have some other pineapple beers in there from the Sculpin versions that I'm going to finish off. But I'm not going to be purchasing anymore until I see a date coming back on the bottles. And if you're going to date them, get away from that Julian code. What the hell's up with that? That's not serving anybody's purpose. Put a month, day, and a year on it. If you don't like that, tough shit. We'll stop buying your beers and see how you like that. So, I hate to be that way, guys, but it's 2016. It's time for these big breweries. These guys are in California, and they're sending beers to Virginia, all the way across the country. They're big enough to date the beers, and they choose not to. That gives them a longer shelf life. That's the only reason they choose not to date their bottles, because they can sit on the shelf a lot longer, and they can sell a lot more of them. So, it's the last one you're going to see from me, unless it has a date on it. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says overall 95 and 63 in the style. So they're giving it a lot better number than I'm going to, and I'm giving it a lot better number than Beer Advocate's giving it. So we're about mid-grade. 87, 95, 91 for me. So if you've had the peppermint version of Ballast Point's Victory at Sea, let me know what you think of it, guys. I think it's pretty tasty, but it needs a vintage on it and no silly-ass Julian code. They were dating them, they're not now. So last one for me until I see it. If you've had the peppermint version of Victory at Sea, let me know what you think, guys, and see if we can dig something out that's got a real freaking date on it tomorrow. I'm going to take a close look, see if we can find something. See you then.